Alright, let's get into this. These are my avatars, Manny and Tagger. They're characters from my comic book series TMP, and if I have a guest over, their emails will be drawn most likely by me. With that said, let me get this other thing out of the way. I am in no way a professional artist. I did not go to art school, and other than taking an art class, animation actually, in high school, with a great teacher that taught me everything I know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Chances are other art tubers that went to art school, or know the true rules to art, will have their own thoughts on how to draw. Alright, so let's start off with the first thing you need in this little crash course, your motivation. So, when you have a motivation, it's going to make you want to do something more so than nothing. When you just say, oh, it's for fun, that's fine and all, but you're not really going to do much with that other than just do it for fun. And that's cool. But yeah, as long as you have a little motivation, that's all you really need to get started. A reason to want to draw, and then continue drawing to the point where you can actually improve and get better at drawing. Alright, up next is actually stick figures. A stick figure, in the most blatant terms, is exactly what you think it is. It's a person in the form of a stick figure. Now, what really matters about a stick figure isn't really the fact that you're drawing a stick figure, but more so what you're going to do with that stick figure. Take your friend, a family, or somebody close to you, and ask them to do a pose for you, and try to replicate that pose to the stick figure. The reason I say this is because it's much easier for you to draw something realistic, and eventually, as your skills improve and you get more talented, and you double your art style and all that stuff, drawing from reality is the best way to learn how to draw fiction. Because you can't draw a giant guy with 4 arms if you don't know how 2 arms work. Trust me. That's what my art teacher basically told me. He basically told me, draw from real life all the time, and you will get better at drawing fictional life, and can apply the rules from real life to the fictional life, because then you can bend the rules, change things up, and know exactly what you're doing and how to make it look good. This is also something Penny Q, a guest on the channel, often tells me, that whenever I'm stuck and need to learn how to do something, just look at real life and just copy it. Oh, and yeah, stick figures are very important. Stick figures are the thing that let you pose and know what you're going to do with the drawing. Every artist that I know uses stick figures because it lets all of us know what we're doing. From a guy getting punched in the face to a high five to a hug. Remember, stick figures are very important. A lot of artists use them, and they're for that reason. It's just for, it's just the first step you take in making a drawing. Next to knowing what you're doing, but, details. After that, you're gonna have to learn how to do shapes. Everything in this world is made of shapes. We're people. We kind of like putting things in boxes, quite literally. From a bottle of pills, well, what's a pill bottle? A pill bottle is a cylinder with with a circle on top that stretches downwards. People are also in shapes, but to draw a person, we're gonna have to make boxes out of them. Now, what do I mean by boxes? Well, from this drawing here, you can see that I made an individual with a stick figure, then I put boxes around them, and then I put circles inside those boxes. The reason I did this was, I believe my animation teacher told me this, but he basically said, before you can draw a body, what makes up the shapes of a body? What makes up the shapes of a body, you might ask? That's quite simple. The arm is a cone, your hand is a square, the fingers are like long little tubes, and your head is a circle. So, what I want you to do is just take a stick figure, or, first you want to practice drawing stick figures and getting a stick figure down, and then practice drawing squares around them. After you finish drawing the squares around them, make sure the squares on the shoulders and legs are actually inside the stick figure. Don't have them sticking out, because if you have them sticking out, it's going to look like their arms are about to fall off and they're not really connected. The reason you want to have these boxes intersect or appear slightly inside is to make sure you can actually add joints in the proper movement. This is also going to be important for when you add circles. So yeah, add a square for the head, add a square for the elbows, arms, and possibly where the wrist is, along with the legs, kneecaps, and where your feet are going to be. Just add squares right here, and if you're curious about how to draw feet, it's quite simple. Feet and hands are quite literally, for me, just boxes. Then I evolve into square circles into hands, or at least what looks like them. Or at least as close as I can get to hands. After that, we're going to get to circles. Now, take the squares you made and add small circles all over the body. Except for the arms and legs. For the arms and legs, you want to make cones and add these circles and you want to add circles to it. Add circles to the elbows, the shoulders, and the hand or the wrist, along with the knees and where your ankle would be for the legs. As far as the calves, you can also add circles there just to make sure they can, walk properly and have other assets that are near that area. And for the torso, yeah, I'm sorry for glossing over this, but the torso is actually going to be 3 rectangles, as you can see here from the earlier example. The human torso, as far as I draw them, are rectangles. The way the human torso is for me is it's big at the top, thinner in the middle, and then stretches out near the bottom. That's just the way I draw them, along with arms being the same exception. But yeah, when you draw this torso for the body, make them three rectangles and just curve them so they look like, an actual human being and not a freak of nature. And yeah, everything's made of shapes. First, you start off with a stick figure, add boxes, and then get circles. And once you get better at drawing, you can ditch the squares altogether and just add circles all the time. After that, yeah, this is pretty much the basic things you need to draw the human body and to improve your poses. Draw your friends, draw animals, draw anything if you can, get an image of it, and practice drawing it. Other than that, that's all I have to say. I'm not trying to make a super long video, this is just a little crash course for my little buddy Joey. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.